While the Grey Company journeyed south to the aid of Aragorn, we came upon a Dunlanding hag named Gwillian, called the Old Woman of the Mountain. She sought to raise an army of ancient evil to aid the White Hand against Rohan. It was our duty, Amlon's and mine, to keep her at bay.
Welcome back everyone to Skirmishing 102, where today we are running the first of the paid skirmishes. Now this is actually the most recent skirmish to be released as of this recording, and I'm very strong emphasis on as of this recording because there is a new skirmish that is coming out, I'd say about a week from the time of the release of this video, maybe actually a few days after the release of this video, that is going to add a new skirmish, and that is one of the reasons why I am starting a new series, going into moral skirmishes and looking at how skirmishes are today, and of course any... Oh, I missed one. Oh boy. That was... Oopsie. There you go. Now, Storm of Methedras, this one can get a little bit chaotic, especially during the counterattacks. It looks like I could turn it chaotic even during the rush up towards the gate. Now, let's see. And I want to do this without getting too many mobs into the area. And see what timing I want to give them there. Actually, first thing I want to do is to give myself a little bit of... No, not that, not that. And... Alright, oh, there, oh, somebody is going after my morale there. Alright, there's the second wave. Oops, we've got a little bit too much there. The tree was walking by during the wave. So we got a little bit extra company there, and those trees, of course, also like to knock you back. Okay. It's all stable now. Now, during the third wave, this is where I like to use my lightning storm. I figure I could clear them out. Oh, somebody survived that. He must have been just outside of range, and that means that... Yeah, okay, I was wondering, when is when is he going to be arriving? Alright, hey, you can get some birds. And I just need them around for when I fight that Drake in there, and there's plenty of time for that to cool down on there. But it's a little bit less chaotic if I don't have to face the encounter when I'm facing all those other mobs at the same time, which is why I think a lightning storm was most appropriate for that time point. And yes, I like lightning storm. I also like staff strike, which is probably a little bit rarer on lore masters. There we go. And your turn. I guess at some point I should discuss how I am traded on here. Obviously I am blue line because I've got Murder Crows, and that is a blue line only trait in there. It's, oh, oopsie daisy. Oh, there's a shepherd here. I gotta be careful. That's... Did I really get that timing that bad? Okay. Well, alright, I got rid of one. Is there another? Okay, there we go. Alright, I missed one of them. I was a little bit late on my setup there, obviously. So we gotta be careful with the Shepherd of Filth. So let's just take on a couple of single mobs while I wait for this yuck to get off of me. A tree? Oh, okay. Well, not a single mob now. Your turn. And... Kuthrau. The sound of Kuthrus howling through the night, or something like that. I know you'd think I would have remembered all those Dunlanding sound bites by now, but not always. There we go. That takes care of the second area. Now for the second gate, where I expect as much bad company to come across as at the previous time. But following the same pattern in here. Try to take care of the first two waves using my standard stuff, things like sticky gourd or cracked earth. So getting a little AoE damage in there, but saving the storm for the third wave so that I can be rid of them by the time the encounter arrives. Though on this one it's not as important because I think usually that encounter has to get all the way from Gwillion's hut, so they usually take a rather leisurely pace on there. Unfortunately, half the mobs were already too close, so I really timed that one poorly, I guess. You're going, okay. Oh, we got the giant. That's going to be a pain. The giant's big problem is, well, other than being big, is, of course, that 20-second shield he's got. Make sure I get that up there. And of course, the ranger's going to go out there to face him, despite the fact that he can't damage him in the slightest as long as that shield is up. Oh, there you go. Goodbye. I guess that stun blocker didn't cool down yet. That was good. Oh, I really I got a little too much company there. Oh, oops. Hey, stop it! It's been... I think it's... thank you. All right. That reminds me, that's another skill that I always forget to use. Call of the Valor, if I could... where... It only lasts for 10 seconds, and that means you have to time it right in using it. So I've never learned how to use that properly, but I think it's supposed to keep you from having your inductions interrupted when you're knocked back and things like that. At least that's the impression I got. I haven't used it enough in order to really tell. Let's get that off of me. Hey, oh wait, you get the lightning. And oh, there's one beast left. There's always one left. All right, fine. I'll do that. And now summon the fell creatures that are all around. Going to take that. Now, probably the best thing I can think of doing is do what I did in Gondom, and that is send the crows against the drake and then take care of Gwillion after that. Let's see, this is... there you go. I do have some Lynx food with me. Alright, good. Go. Let's take care of that, and whoopsie daisy. Alright. Your turn. Take care of Gwillian with this Clutches of the Hag that we've got in there, which I have a feeling is the same debuff that you get from those Spirit Sappers. And if you only done solo skirmishes, you're saying, what's a daunting Spirit Sapper? That's essentially a big toad. And you get double rewards on this one. So we'll grab that. Then that's the second reward. And that means that we are done. Well, that was rather fast. That's the way Swarm of Methedras goes, I suppose. It can go pretty quickly, which means that we got a little extra time to look at how I'm traded. How about that? So let's have a look on here. Now, I guess probably more important thing to look at is, okay, my legendary item in here, Orc Basher, and I use a pair of heraldry of the eagles on this thing. I have 480, which is the max one. I think most of the traits that we have here on the legendary item on the staff, the Ascendant Flame, the ones on here are only at 460, so that still needs a little bit of work. So I'm still working on them slowly, so Lightning Storm damage is getting up there because I do want that to be maxed out. Maybe I should have thought of that when I was putting things into there. But anyway, I got the Heraldry of the Eagle. I have the ranged attack extension so that I could attack things from further out, and area effect count at +4. So that's so I've got the gold version of that. It's a legendary version that gives you 4 extra on there. So that means that on my area attacks, they attack 9 targets instead of just 5, which is good. Burning Embers and initial damage, so Burning Embers does quite a bit of damage in there. Inner Flame base healing, so that when I use Inner Flame, I could get myself up fairly well. Staff skill damage. As I said, I use it a little bit more than most of the Lore Masters. I have a feeling a lot of more Lore Masters are going to say, what's that junk? But I hit enough with my staff where I actually keep that up. Pet Morale. This is actually a gold level one, so I'm at 19.25% bonus on there. And Pet Attack Duration, so my pets are very important on that matter. Lightning Storm damage, since I really love that one, so I put that on there. 2 Ascendant Flames. Actually, I think if they had one called Ascendant Lightning, then I would probably be using that instead. I tend to use those lightning spells quite a bit. And down on this side, where it's not as developed on this side of it, where I have another Heraldry of the Eagle. Then single target attack damage, so that my Burning Embers and Lightning Strike gets a little bit extra on there. Skill induction speed, because I like casting my things a little bit faster. That's at Cyan level. Damage over time. That's mainly for, I guess, Burning Embers. That's the only one. I think there are a couple of others in there, but Burning Embers is, of course, the main damage over time that we've got in there. Then Light of the Rising Dawn, damage and critical multiplier. I really should use it more, considering that I've got that traded in there. Target resistance, debuffing skills. That means I maybe should be using my debuffing skills a little bit more, because I don't think I used them enough in order to justify that one. Target resistance damaging skills, well, I use that plenty on this one. Cracked Earth damage. I was resistant on using that one at first, but when I started actually using Cracked Earth, I know I probably don't use that enough, but when I went from using it never to using it semi-regularly, I started trading that. Signs of Power, durations, and debuffs. Oh, for all 3 of these skirmishes that I was doing, I forgot about, except for the Signs of Power Righteousness, which I usually remember when I run to someone who I either think is going to stun me or right after they did stun me. But all the rest of the Signs of Power on there I just completely forget about, as you can see here, because I don't think I've used any of those for a single time during these 3 skirmishes that I've done so far. Nature's Fury skill damage. No. I don't know whether that... I have to see whether that actually does anything or not. I have to double check on there because just in case, because if it's something that has to do with only red line, then obviously that would be a candidate for replacing if I find something better. And the 2 more Ascendant Flames. And that is what I've got on my staff and on my book that I have in there. And as for regular traits in there, this is pretty much everything in the blue line. Now, I sort of think it's a bit annoying that we've got an odd number. The total number of points you spend in your specialty is an odd number. Probably as a result when they added a second capstone. So now we've got an odd number in here. And you have a choice of either dumping 1 damage in here so that you could use up all your points, or going with 1 point left unspent. Now, I've got 98 points spent here, and when the new update comes out, 98 is going to be the max, so I am right at what the max is going to be when they change the trait tree calculation system for number of points spent. And it looks like I have the rest of here Master of Nature's Fury. So I do have a number of Nature Fury items in here. I just don't like Lightning Storm, for example. That's why I have Lightning Storm, is because by dipping into red line in here. So that is all. So if that helps me to do more damage with Lightning Storm, then I think keeping that Nature's Fury item in there would be fine. I've been looking at this, and it looks like it gives me a 10% bonus rather than a 45% bonus. And I don't know if it's getting to me from another source, or maybe that's a fallback if you're not a specialist. Whatever is the case, it is certainly not something for my particular line. Maybe if I ever have a red line on this character, I may keep it or whatever, but I may be looking for something more appropriate for my setup to work on that. But that staff is giving me a great deal of potency on my skills in there. That seems to be having the bigger effect on how much damage I do. And that's the end of today's episode, and I'll see you next time, where I am hoping update 34 will be out, and perhaps we can start having a look at the new skirmish when we return here at Skirmishing 102.